Summer is here, your AC is cranked and you've got $0 to spend. But don't worry, we've got you covered. Whether you're into massive loot grinds, sweaty PvP lobbies or chill strategy sessions, the free-to-play scene is stacked with quality games that'll carry you through those scorching afternoons and sleepless nights. Here's the full breakdown of this summer's absolute best free games, and we're talking what to expect from each and what mood they're best for. I am Jake and this is nerdsection.com. Let's kick things off with Marvel Rivals, a fresh entry in the hero shooter space that's basically Overwatch meets the MCU. It's a 6v6 third-person battler where you take control of iconic Marvel characters and go head to head in chaotic, power-packed arenas. You've got everyone from Iron Man to Scarlet Witch, each with their own flashy abilities, movement styles and synergy potential. The action is fast and explosive. Teams are encouraged to combo powers together, and there's an ultimate meter that builds up to absolute carnage. Visually, it slaps. The comic book aesthetic shines and the animations are buttery smooth. But here's the tea. People are calling out matchmaking imbalances. Some characters are a little too cracked and new updates have had growing pains. Still, if you're a Marvel nerd and love arena shooters, this one's worth diving into just for the spectacle. Love it or hate it, Overwatch 2 is still hanging in the fight. Blizzard's team-based shooter went free to play and brought with it new heroes, new maps and seasonal content drops that keep things feeling fresh even if the core gameplay remains familiar. If you played the original, you know the drill. It's objective-based chaos with hero-specific powers, class synergies and quick respawn frenzies. What's new is a more aggressive approach to seasonal events and battle passes, which have divided fans a bit. Still, the shooting feels tight, character abilities offer deep strategy, and Blizzard's polish makes sure the game runs smooth on pretty much anything. It's definitely not a fan favorite, but it's free, so what do you have to lose? Okay, technically this one isn't free on Steam, but hear me out. From July 17 to July 24th, Epic Games is giving away Civilization VI for free, no strings attached. If you've never played Civ, prepare to lose entire days to the just one more turn syndrome. You build a civilization from scratch, starting in the ancient era and pushing through modern times and beyond. Along the way you'll negotiate peace treaties, start wars, manage religious influence and try to become the dominant force on the map through culture, science or military conquest. It's a slow burn, but once you're hooked, it's all over. Every game feels different thanks to randomized maps, AI personalities and victory conditions. It's easily one of the most replayable strategy games ever made and a perfect slow cooker for lazy summer days. If you've ever felt like Diablo wasn't complex or punishing enough, Path of Exile is your jam. This dark fantasy action RPG drops you into a brutal world with a massive, confusing and beautiful skill tree that lets you sculpt your character into anything you want. The gameplay loop is all about murdering hordes of monsters, collecting absurd amounts of loot and tinkering endlessly with your build to melt bosses in seconds. What makes PoE stand out is its league system. Every few months they launch a new league with unique mechanics, fresh story content and seasonal rewards. And unlike a lot of free games, Path of Exile is monetized mostly through cosmetics and storage tabs. The core game is free and complete. Yes, the learning curve is steep and yes, you will screw up your first few builds, but once it clicks, you're in for one of the most rewarding RPG experiences out there. This Korean MMO took the West by storm with its beautiful art style, cinematic cutscenes and fluid action combat. Lost Ark is essentially a marriage between Diablo-style dungeon crawling and traditional MMORPG systems like mounts, guilds and massive world events. There are a ton of classes, seriously, it's wild, and each one plays dramatically differently, so whether you like fast-paced melee, long-range magic or support-style gameplay, there's a fit for you. The story starts slow but gets absolutely bonkers as it opens up. And then there are the raids, huge multi-phase boss fights that demand coordination and mechanical skill. Lost Ark is a grindy game, make no mistake, and the monetization around honing gear has sparked a lot of debate. But if you want something that feels vast, epic and explorable, you'll lose yourself here. Now for something completely different. Slapshot Rebound is indie hockey chaos at its finest. This top-down arcade-style sports game has no puck magnetism, no auto-assist, just you, the puck, and a physics engine that laughs in your face when you whiff a shot. You control a team in fast-paced 3v3 matches, where positioning, timing, and raw skill matter way more than stats or cosmetics. It's brutally simple, but addicting as hell. Players compare it to Rocket League, except way more rage-inducing and hilarious. The community is tight, the game's easy to run on a potato PC, and every match is a new chance to break friendships and scream at your monitor. Perfect if you want something casual looking but secretly sweaty. This one's a newer addition, but if you've ever dreamed of piloting a Gundam-style mech into an open battlefield, Mecha BREAK is calling your name. It's a team-based shooter with massive mechs, customizable loadouts, and an aerial combat system that makes every fight feel like an anime finale. There's a bit of a learning curve. Mesh control takes time to master, and you'll need to know your role in teamfights. But once you get the hang of it, it's pure metal on metal mayhem. Each mech class brings its own flair, whether it's close quarters blades, long range missiles, or heavy tank style armor. And the game's free-to-play model isn't too aggressive either, with most microtransactions aimed at skins. If you're tired of boots on the ground shooters and want something with style and scale, this is your summer gem. Genshin fans, gather round. Wuthering Waves is a gacha-fueled open-world RPG that channels everything you love about character collection games, but adds fast-paced combat in a moody post-apocalyptic setting. The graphics are lush, the characters are edgy and stylish, and the world is packed with traversal mechanics like wall running, gliding and parkour. What sets it apart is the combat system. Tight, responsive and built around chaining attacks and dodges in real time. It feels more Devil May Cry than traditional gacha. The grind is present, of course, and there's plenty of banner pulling and RNG frustration if you get too deep. But even without spending a dime, there's a ton of content to chew through. It's still early days, but this could be the next big wave in the genre. Say what you want about Bungie's decision making, but Destiny 2 still knows how to make a game feel epic. This FPS MMO hybrid blends tight gunplay, deep customization and jaw-dropping environments across a galaxy filled with lore, factions and alien threats. The base game is free and includes a huge amount of content. PvP crucible matches, core story missions, strikes and even some raids. What keeps people logging in daily is the loop, collecting exotic gear, tweaking builds with mods and subclass trees, and grinding seasonal objectives. Sure, some expansions are locked behind paywalls, but the free package is still stacked. And the sense of scale in Destiny? Unreal. 1 minute you're sniping Cabal on a Martian outpost, the next you're dunking orbs in a moon temple. It's got that just one more bounty vibe in spades. This one's for the survival horror fans. Once Human throws you into a post-apocalyptic open world filled with cosmic horrors, twisted monsters and rival survivors. It's part base builder, part shooter, part exploration sim. During the day, you scavenge, craft and expand your shelter. At night, the world shifts. The monsters get smarter, your visibility drops and the tension skyrockets. You'll need to balance your sanity meter, monitor resource intake and decide when to fight and when to run. PvP adds even more paranoia. You're never truly safe, even from other players. The game's visuals are strong and the world building is bizarre and intriguing, with Lovecraftian flavor mixed into the gameplay. It's not perfect. Some bugs and balancing issues linger, but if you want a free survival game that actually makes your heart race, this one delivers. Reviving a name that's pure nostalgia for old school shooter fans. Delta Force Hawk Ops takes everything you remember from early tactical military games and gives it a modern makeover. This isn't some twitchy run and gun arcade shooter. It's squad based, objective focused and built for long range engagements where positioning and communication matter. The game features massive maps inspired by classic Delta Force titles, complete with drivable vehicles, destructible buildings and a full class system that lets you tailor your role on the battlefield. Whether you're sniping from a mountaintop or coordinating a breach on an enemy fortress, every match feels like a slow burn toward chaos. The visuals aren't mind-blowing and it's got some jank in its current state, but if you're nostalgic for the days of real tactical shooters or just want something slower paced than Apex or Warzone, it's worth checking out. Plus, it's got an old school soul, and that counts for a lot. This one's for the MMO heads who want their fantasy worlds to be big, like Siege Warfare big. Throne and Liberty is NCSoft's most ambitious project in years, and while it's still finding its footing in early access, the bones are there for something massive. It throws you into a continent teetering on the edge of political collapse, where guilds battle for control of cities, economy systems tie into real-time weather events, and every player choice feeds into a dynamic world map. The combat mixes traditional MMO tab targeting with action elements like dodging and combo chaining. But let's keep it real, early access has bugs, balancing issues and a UI that could use a second pass. That said, the PvP is tense and large scale, the lore has potential and the castle sieges are already showing flashes of greatness. If you've got the patience to stick with the game as it grows, this one could be huge. This is World War II combat turned up to 110%. Enlisted puts you in charge of a squad, not just a single soldier. You can switch between your AI teammates mid-battle, giving you a weirdly effective control over the whole battlefield. It's the best parts of a realistic military shooter combined with a strategic edge you don't usually get. You'll storm bunkers, snipe from rooftops, pilot fighter planes or blast tanks apart, all in one match. The maps are huge and historically inspired, and the squad mechanic adds a surprising amount of depth. It's not just about getting kills, it's about how you use your team. Monetization is pretty fair, focusing on cosmetics and convenience, and the devs regularly drop new content to keep things fresh. For fans of Battlefield-style chaos, this is a free sleeper hit that's criminally underrated. If you've got a need for speed and a love of perfectly timed cornering, Trackmania will eat your brain in the best way. This isn't your standard racing game, it's a time trial playground where you're racing against ghosts, breaking milliseconds off your PBs and memorizing hundreds of user-created tracks. The visuals are clean and snappy, the physics are tight and the skill ceiling is brutally high. You can jump in for casual runs or go full sweat mode in international ranked events. But where Trackmania really shines is in the community. Thousands of tracks, mods, skins and time-based challenges are available. And the best part is it's all easy to access. The game operates on a seasonal model, so new official campaigns drop regularly. And even the free tier gives you a massive amount of content. It's the kind of game you can play for 5 minutes or 5 hours and still feel like you're getting better. Last but definitely not least, we've got Cave Story's Secret Santa, a short, sweet and surprisingly fun stealth puzzle game set in the same world as the legendary Cave Story. You play as, quote, delivering presents and sneaking through levels without getting spotted. It's got that retro charm, tight platforming controls and just enough challenge to keep you engaged. While it's nowhere near as deep or long as the original game, it feels like a love letter to fans, packed with little nods and adorable art. Best part? It's totally free. Perfect for a cozy night in when you want something low stakes but still crafted with care. This is one of the best summers in years for free-to-play content. $0 endless dopamine. Which game are you dropping into first? Let me know in the comments. This has been your free game rundown. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out our video about the crazy stuff Ubisoft is doing. See you next time here on Nerd Section.